Hey, I'm Sarah Arms. I'm the Sergeant over Special Victims Unit and our ICAC unit. ICAC is Internet Crimes Against Children. Our investigators work cases that involve child abuse, child sexual abuse, adult sexual abuse, runaways, domestic violence, and vulnerable adults. A typical day for an investigator in SVU is we usually come in, we get the cases from overnight. Our investigators are assigned the cases and they assess each case for to make sure everybody's safe. Sometimes our kids are not in homes that are safe, so our investigators will make sure that that is the priority. The priority is always to keep kids and vulnerable adults safe. So that's going to be number one. They're going to look at their cases and make sure through the night kids were either put in different homes to make sure that they're safe or taken into emergency protective custody. And we follow up with DSS to make sure that there's a safety plan in place before we actually start investigating the crime.
So right now I'm in the lily pad room at DSS. There are times in our investigations or at the beginning of investigations that we have to take kids into emergency protective custody. There are a lot of moving parts to that, but one of those is finding placement for the kids that we take custody of. While they're waiting for their temporary placement, after they've been taken into protective custody, this is one of the places they can come that's a really comfortable setting, and it has toys and things to make them calm in one of the most traumatic times of their lives. So we've established a multidisciplinary team. We call it an MDT, where members of the community with different partnering agencies that we have, like DSS, the CAC, the staying nurses at the hospital, solicitor's office, and multiple other agencies, we all get together quarterly and we work towards the same goal of promoting collaboration and communication against the members of that MDT. Our big goal is to make sure kids are safe at all times.
So we receive alleged reports of abuse and neglect from mandated reporters regarding children and vulnerable adults. So we'll get a call to our intake hub who will take the reports of alleged allegations. Those reports get disseminated out to the county offices of origin. So here in Spartanburg, we receive a report of alleged abuse against a child. That case gets then assigned to investigations case manager, who then proceeds to go out during a 45-day period to investigate the allegations, to collaborate with community partners, and to gather as much information and data as they can towards the investigation to determine if the allegations are true or not. So in addition to our collaboration, we do a lot of training within interagency. So we like to educate the Sheriff's Department on policy updates and procedures to keep them abreast of our protocols and how we need to proceed when we're doing our investigations, and vice versa. I think that's the benefit of the MDT meeting, is we get to converse with each other and they're able to do the same, is updating us on their policies so that we don't interfere with any criminal investigations that are going on.
I'd like to talk a little bit about mandated reporting. Mandated reporters are required to report to law enforcement or DSS. Sometimes it's just where the situation best fits. If there is a crime that's taking place and there's safety involved, generally we like you to report to law enforcement so we can get ahead of that. If it's just in a home that there's something going on, whether it be deplorable conditions or acts of neglect, usually that will be reported to DSS. But both of us work together really well. So if we get a case that we know DSS needs to be involved, or DSS has a case that they know we need to be involved, they'll immediately contact us or we'll immediately contact them.
Per the South Carolina State Protocol for Child Abuse, we always include the Children's Advocacy Center in our cases that are involving children. This is a safe place for kids to be able to have an interview, but not in a police setting. The forensic interviews are done where the children are comfortable, and it helps them be able to go through a very traumatic time in a comfortable setting. It's audio and video recorded. That way we can use it when it comes time for court. A common misconception is that forensic interviews can be used in lieu of children's testimony during court cases. That's not necessarily the case. They can be used during the court process. However, the child has to be available for cross-examination by the defense. We don't want everybody having to interview these kids because, again, it's a traumatic moment. The Children's Advocacy Center narrows down that interview to one specific interview. That way all of the information that all of the different sistering agencies need is in one place, and it helps so much with the trauma for the child. Another aspect of the Children's Advocacy Center is the advocacy part. What this is after a forensic interview is done, They are offered any type of counseling, follow-up medical visits, and all that is covered under SC-VAN, the South Carolina Victims Assistance Network. So don't worry about cost. We are here to help the kids and help the victims of our cases.
The Internet Crimes Against Children is an initiative that was started in 1998 by the U.S. Department of Justice to combat online exploitation of children. Back at the beginning of around 98 was the birth of the World Wide Web as we know it, the Internet. And as all things are, it's normally created for a good thing, but some people will find a way to manipulate it. So what they were finding out was that there were online predators that were using the Internet to trade in images of children, or what we call child sexual abuse material. So what my job here at the office is, I investigate any crimes that the Internet is used for to transmit child sexual abuse material. We work hand in hand with a lot of federal agencies and state agencies, the South Carolina Attorney General's office we work with, the FBI we work with, Homeland Security. We work these cases hand in hand to make sure that we protect the most vulnerable citizens that we have, that being our children. This is Seda. She's a 7-year-old black lab. She is an electronic storage detection canine. She is my partner. We've been active for about the last 6 years, and she's used on a lot of the ICAC search warrants. She can find anything that you can digitally save to, so hard drives, flash drives, cell phones, tablets, anything that you can digitally save to, there's a chemical compound on it that she's trained to smell. So what we've come to find out is a lot of these predators will like to hide pictures on devices like that, and she is able to find those devices. She's been on close to 170, 180 search warrants in her 6 years with well over close to 300 fines.
If someone suspects abuse, you can either contact law enforcement and make a report, and the reports will come to me for me to assign to an investigator, or you can report them to DSS, and DSS will investigate as well and then pass that on to us if need be.